This was at the Bharat Mandapam stage, the newly inaugurated complex here in Pragati Maidan in the national capital, which is going to be the destination when India hosts the G20 summit later in the year. He has set the tone for 2024 because not only was he inaugurating this particular building or this particular complex, but he was talking about the track record of his government in the last 9 years and what's to come for India if he does take over in 2024. For him, there is no if. That is going to happen is what he says. In the third term of the NDA government, India will become the world's third largest economy is what the Prime Minister said. He said in NDA's third term, in no unequivocal terms, that every Indian's dream will come true. The Prime Minister there making it clear that the NDA, the BJP, is going to storm to power for a third time around in 2024 next year when the general elections are held. The timing is absolutely pertinent because just today in the parliament, we had the opposition led by the Congress party move a no confidence motion against this particular government. A veiled message coming in to all the opposition alliance parties, the 26 party grouping called India, a message to them, the Prime Minister there sending 2024 is going to be the BJP, the NDA's term. It is going to be the third term for the NDA government, and that is going to usher in another era, another chapter as far as India's glorious future goes. Listen in to what the Prime Minister said once again.
आप जानते हैं कि हमारे पहले टर्म की शुरुआत में भारत वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी में 10वें नंबर पे था। जब मुझे आप लोगों ने काम दिया तो हम अब 10 नंबर ही थे। दूसरे टर्म में आज भारत दुनिया की 5वीं सबसे बड़ी इकोनॉमी है। और ये ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड के आधार पर, बातों बातों में नहीं, ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड के आधार पर मैं कह रहा हूं, मैं देश को ये भी विश्वास दिलाऊंगा कि तीसरे टर्म में दुनिया की पहली 3 इकोनॉमीज में एक नाम भारत का होगा। यानी तीसरे टर्म में पहली 3 इकोनॉमी में गर्व के साथ हिंदुस्तान खड़ा होगा दोस्तों। थर्ड टर्म टॉप 3 इकोनॉमी पे पहुंच के रहेगा भारत, और ये मोदी की गारंटी है। मैं देशवासियों को ये भी विश्वास दिलाऊंगा कि 2024 के बाद हमारे तीसरे टर्म में देश की विकास यात्रा और तेजी से बढ़ेगी, और मेरे तीसरे कार्यकाल में आप अपने सपने अपनी आंखों के सामने पूरे होते देखेंगे।
My colleague Payal joining us on this broadcast to put this in perspective. Now, Payal, we've seen the kind of hangama that's happening inside the parliament, a no confidence motion there being moved by the opposition, by the Congress as well. At such a time, the Prime Minister there going on to say no ifs and buts. There is a third term for the NDA is what he says.
Well, the Prime Minister over there is speaking as a Prime Minister of the country. He's been speaking about the new India, the India of our dreams. He's been speaking about the fact that there have been many attempts in the past to block projects which were actually for development. But here he is, and his guarantees that, you know, India has reached up to the, India is committed and well on track to become the third largest economy of the world as well. And the journey from being at number 10 or 12, you know, to reach up
sorry to interrupt you there.
We really reach, despite the fact that there's a global...
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there, Payal. We're hoping to get in some reactions coming in from political parties as well. But yes, go ahead. You were talking about the Prime Minister talking of India's glorious future. And in that glorious future, the leader is going to be the BJP-led NDA.
Well, of course, the Prime Minister said this on multiple occasions, including the NDA meeting that took place last week. In fact, yesterday while he was speaking to the BJP MPs in that closed-door meeting at the parliamentary party meeting, even then he had said that nothing can stop India from becoming the third largest economy of the world, given the fact that there is still a global slowdown across the world. But that doesn't stop India's growth, India's trajectory and India's journey. That is something which Prime Minister has really said. And of course, he's taken a pot shot at the opposition, because remember, the opposition in various states have been speaking about guarantees, Poonam. But the Prime Minister here has said that his guarantee is that he will take India to greater heights. And India will become what it's dreaming of. So he's spoken about Vikasful Bharat. He's spoken about the India of our dreams. He's spoken about the fact that in 2023, when he comes into power again, you know, in 2024, they will continue that trajectory and that growth as far as India is concerned.
Yes, Payal, do stay on with me. Congress's Charan Singh Sapra joining us on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18 on the right stand. The Prime Minister just a few minutes ago, while outlining what India's future is going to look like, said in NDA's third term, no ifs and buts. He says 2024 is going to be the BJP-led NDA's year. The next 5 years are going to be theirs, and in those next 5 years, in the NDA's third term, India's economy is only going to see an upward trajectory.
See what I feel, similarly, Prime Minister in 2014, he had promised 15 lakh rupees for every Indian. He had promised 2 crore jobs every year. And later on, his deputy, Mr. Amit Shah, said that ye to sab chunavi jumla hai. These are jumlas which are said in during elections. So Prime Minister has been promising all such things. He had also promised to the farmers of India that their income will get doubled by 2022, and nothing has happened. The rupee is being devalued. There are so many other economic situations where MSMEs are getting closed, where the manufacturing industry is going down. There are so many issues which Prime Minister had promised, and he has not kept that promise. These are mere election jumlas, I would like to say, and Prime Minister, since the elections are forthcoming in 2024, this is another jumla of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi.
Which one of it is a jumla, Mr. Sapra? The fact that India's economy is going to be the third largest in the world, or the fact that the BJP-led NDA is storming back to power in 2024, or both?
See, both are election jumlas, because the Prime Minister is not replying on the current situation of the country, the situation of Manipur. He is not ready to talk on that. They are not ready to give any discussion in the ongoing parliament session. There are grave issues in the country itself on which he doesn't want to speak. So these are mere election jumlas which he is saying. These are rhetorics. And these rhetorics are not going to work. They have not worked in Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh, and they are not going to work now in the forthcoming assembly elections or the national elections.
Sure, Mr. Sapra, do stay on with me. BJP's RP Singh also joining us here on this broadcast. Thank you so much for speaking with us here on the right stand. RP Singh, the Congress says this kind of comments coming in from the Prime Minister, the kind of confidence coming in from the Prime Minister is nothing but jumla. It's far from reality, they say.
Well, there are more than 55 crore people who are the beneficiary of the Ayushman Bharat. There are more than 3.5 crore women who have been given roof on their head. There are more than 11 crore farmers who have been given Kisan Samman Nidhi. So ultimately, the poor man or the last man in the queue is the beneficiary, and they are the ultimate voters also. And that makes us confident that yes, we are coming for the third term, because this government has been dedicated to poor and the last in the queue, and then ongoingly, whether it's water, electricity, whether it is gas, whether it is roof on the head, whether it is even helping people out of the corona period also. So government has been doing all what is required, and then we are very sure that people are going to give us a chance again to serve them. And again, Congress has no agenda, or the opposition has no agenda. Even today in Bihar, people were asking for electricity because of electricity cut. They went there to protest. People were killed there. Other day, people were asking for jobs. They were beaten by the batons.
Sure.
So if that is the agenda, I mean, people will differentiate between the two, and then they'll vote accordingly.
Sure, 2024 is not far away. Whose confidence is overrated and whose confidence is not, we'll find out. The voter will definitely decide on that. The Prime Minister, though, setting the tone for the ongoing Parliament session as well, where a no-confidence motion has been moved against his government. But R.P. Singh and Mr. Sapra, thank you so much for speaking with us here on The Right Stand. We are shifting focus now to the big debate here on The Right Stand tonight. On 11th of August 2020, violent clashes broke out in Bengaluru outside the police stations of KJ Halli and DJ Halli. Congress's then MLA, Akhanda Srinivasmurthy, was also caught in the crossfire. There were arsonists and rioters that were at his doorstep. It was a fallout of an inflammatory post on social media, allegedly that was shared by the former MLA's nephew. Now, 3 people were killed in those riots. Police had to open fire on the crowds as well. Over 30 policemen were injured. There were some journalists that were caught in the midst of this violence as well. Within 24 hours, the Bengaluru police arrested over 100 people. But that was 3 years ago. So why are we talking about it tonight? Well, a Congress MLA in Karnataka has now written to the state government to drop charges against some of those accused. Former minister and now an MLA, Tanveer Sahith, has requested the Home Minister to take a relook into those cases and take some of them back if required. That request was not outrightly dismissed by the state government, which has given ammunition to the opposition in the state. The BJP has latched on. The MLA came out and clarified. He said that he was only seeking the release of under trials against whom there are no charges. But that argument was not enough to keep the lid on the political face-off that is only escalating in the state. So let me tell you what exactly triggered this entire storm. It was not just Tanveer Sahith's request. The issue was aggravated because the Home Minister of the state issued a note on 19th of July to the Principal Secretary of Prisons, Civil Defence and Auxiliary Services in the Home Department. The note urged necessary action. That note is now being widely circulated on social media by BJP. The Congress MLA in his letter claimed that there were innocent people that were arrested, to which the state government sent a letter to the Home Department to look into what these allegations were. Tanveer Sahith claimed that there were students that were framed in fake cases as well, to which the Home Department or the Home Minister said that the department should consult the police and look into these cases. Another claim that the Congress MLA made was that there needs to be a review in these cases as per the law. The state government then decided that the department will submit a report to the panel. They will then decide the future course of action. So what exactly transpired there? The BJP is up in arms. Here's what the BJP is alleging. They say it's a clean chit to criminals that are accused of stoking communal tensions. It's the Congress's jihadi mindset is what some of the BJP leaders tweeted. They even recounted the move by Siddaramaiah government back in 2017 when Siddaramaiah was Chief Minister to withdraw cases against members of the now banned organisation Popular Front of India. It's nothing but appeasement politics because of which the Home Minister has sent this directive is the claim of the BJP. They even alleged that the Karnataka High Court too in the past has termed the DJ Halli riots as an act of terror and withdrawing these cases would be undermining national security. So who exactly are these accused? Are these the same accused that Tanveer Sahith wants the cases to be dropped against? We don't know yet. We don't know who exactly he is going after or wanting to look after. But let's take a look at some of the accused in this case. Imran Ahmed, the president of SDPI's KJ Halli ward, is the main accused. He is charged under the UAPA Act. He is currently in jail. Syed Abbas, an activist with the SDPI again and president of the Nagwara ward in Bengaluru, is another accused. He too is in jail. Tabriz, another SDPI member, he is also in jail. There are several others that are out on bail, like Muzammal Pasha, the Bengaluru district secretary of the SDPI. He alleged that he was being framed. Currently, he is out on bail. Former Congress Mayor Sampath Raj, an accused in the case, is also out on bail. He was a Congress corporator from that particular ward. He was in judicial custody for nearly 3 months. A former corporator who was named as an accused in an interim charge sheet by the Central Branch is also now out on bail. Now, what exactly was this case from August 2020? That several allegations, several charges have been invoked, including the UAPA, which is where the NIA comes in. An NIA charge sheet has also been filed in this particular case. The charge sheet said that there was a Facebook post by a relative of a Congress leader that triggered the entire controversy. Like I pointed out, the former Congress MLA Akhanda Srinivasmurthy's nephew was allegedly behind that Facebook post. That was used to stoke communal tension and communal riots. The charge sheet then said that SDPI instigated the mob that triggered the violence and that the SDPI leaders had hatched this criminal conspiracy. It was a pre-planned one all along. The conspirators were disgruntled over CAA and NRC is also what the NIA charge sheet alleges. Conspirators were looking for an opportunity to create disharmony. There was an attack on a police station and none of it was spontaneous is also what the NIA alleged. social media used to mobilize and incite riots. There were derogatory messages that insulted Hindu gods that were posted on social media to whip up frenzy is also what the NIA investigation revealed. 47 of the 247 charge-sheeted members or accused are from the PFI and its wing, the SDPI. Now, the BJP in Karnataka is on the offensive. But can they really claim high moral ground on the issue of withdrawing cases? Because they've done it in the past as well. Let's take a look at the track record of the BJP. The BJP government has issued 7 orders to drop 385 criminal cases in the state. That includes 182 cases of hate speech and cow vigilantism. More than 1,000 accused have been benefited by the former government or the BJP government's move. MPs, MLAs have also benefited by withdrawal of these criminal cases. So it was all done looking at political compulsions with the allegations that were made back then. The Congress had alleged red flags by the Karnataka police that were completely ignored by the BJP is also what the Congress then had said. So can the BJP now claim high moral ground? Is this then just politics of convenience? That's our big debate tonight.
So this is totally based on the principles of justice, that no innocent should be punished.
ತುಷ್ಟೀಕರಣದ ರಾಜಕಾರಣ ಇಂಥ ಜಿಹಾದಿಗಳು ಇನ್ನು ಕಾನೂನು ಉಲ್ಲಂಘನೆಯನ್ನ ಕಾನೂನನ್ನ ಕೈಗೊಂಡಂತ.
If somebody gives a representation that this case has to be withdrawn, we will not suo moto withdraw those cases. We will send it to the cabinet subcommittee and they will decide whether to withdraw or not.
Joining me on this broadcast, spokesperson of the BJP S. Prakash, spokesperson of the Congress Lavanya Balal, political analyst Abdul Razak Khan and lawyer Aditya Srinivasan joins us as well. But let me begin by asking Lavanya Balal. Lavanya Balal, the BJP says this is nothing but appeasement politics. They even raked up the cases against PFI that were dropped when Mrs. Siddharamaiah was Chief Minister back in 2017.
Good evening. First of all, Tanveer Seth has not asked for the release of any accused. He says if there are innocent people, they must be released from jail. And he's not batting for one particular community. Second of all, our Home Minister, Dr. Parameshwara, is very clear about the procedure of this petition. He says the petition has to be submitted before a subcommittee. The subcommittee will look into this, cases, charges, everything, and then come to a conclusion. He is not promised to release anybody or drop the cases against anybody. Third point is when Mr. Bommai government was in Karnataka, the police had to release a lot of these people who were charged with rioting in DJ Halli, KJ Halli, because the police could not furnish any proof of criminal activity. And this was during when Bommai was the CM. And also, Mr. Bommai, before he became the CM, was a Home Minister who was caught on video in Mangalore airport promising Sharan Pumpwell that he will drop all cases, criminal cases against Sharan Pumpwell. So at this point of time, BJP claiming that Congress has promised to release under trials or accused is so inaccurate and false. Congress has not promised to release anybody. Congress has said this is the procedure and this is what will happen. That is what Home Minister has said. And it is very clear, even on the video, Dr. Parameshwara is saying it will be looked into as per the procedure. He says he does not anywhere say we will release all of these people. So what is this issue being raked up by the BJP?
It's a non-issue, as Prakash says the Congress party. The Congress government or the Home Minister of the state has never promised to release anyone. It's a procedure, a request has been made and the Home Department will look into it.
I believe the Congress spokesperson has not read the letter written by the Parameshwara or by the Tanveer Seth. Tanveer Seth has clearly stated one particular community has been targeted. He did not say general, he did not make a general letter release all the innocent people. All those who were arrested in the riot of DJ Halli and KJ Halli were Muslims. They even tossed hundreds of vehicles, attacked policemen. There was a police firing in which 4 people were died. Mr. Parameshwara has written clearly. I would like to read the letter. Let the Congress spokesperson also listen to it. ಸದರಿ ಮೊಕದ್ದಮೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮರುಪರಿಶೀಲಿಸಿ ನಿಯಮಾನುಸಾರ ಹಿಂಪಡೆಯಲು ಕ್ರಮ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳುವಂತೆ ಕೋರಲಾಗಿದೆ. He has asked the police officer to follow the due procedure and withdraw the cases. What does it mean? Those people have been arrested under UAPA. The cases have been taken over by NIA. State government has no jurisdiction over it. The cases, charge sheet have been filed in the court, and case is on. And how can the government claim they can withdraw the cases? How can that irresponsible MLA write a letter to the Home Minister requesting all the cases be withdrawn in the DJLD, KJLD raids? He himself was attacked in Mysore grievously. We felt sorry for him. Now this man has not learned any lesson out of it. Such violence should be deplorable. It is not on communal basis. It should be on law and order basis. None should encourage such elements. But here is a person who himself was a victim, is supporting such elements. Here is the government. From the day one, they are observing appeasement policy to the hilt. Even in Udupi case, they are doing the same thing. Even
if
here,
I may,
yes, continue.
If I may respond, I will read out the last sentence as it is in the letter, and I'll translate it for you as well, because it is English-speaking audience.
Home Minister
it says this. Sullu Mokaddame. No. Let me read it. It says, ಇತರ ಕಡೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದ ಪ್ರತಿಭಟನೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಗಲಭೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮಾಯಕ ಯುವಕರು ಹಾಗೂ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಸುಳ್ಳು ಮೊಕದ್ದಮೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಸದರಿ ಮೊಕದ್ದಮೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮರುಪರಿಶೀಲಿಸಿ ನಿಯಮಾನುಸಾರ ಹಿಂಪಡೆಯಲು ಕ್ರಮಗೊಳ್ಳುವಂತೆ ಕೋರಲಾಗಿದೆ ಬೈ ದ MLA. ಈ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪರಿಶೀಲಿಸಿ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಕ್ರಮ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತೆ ಸೂಚಿಸಿದೆ. He says, do the needful as per the law. He is nowhere in his letter mentioning we drop the cases against accused. He says there has been a request by Mr. Tanveer Seth. He says there has been a request by Tanveer Seth, look into this case and do the needful as per the law. Sir, please do not translate the letter incorrectly. Do not translate the letter incorrectly, sir.
He has no
He is not. I have the letter with me, sir. I have the letter with me.
Who are you to say also?
I have the letter with me. I have the
I
letter
also have
with
the
me,
letter
sir.
of
I'm reading
Parameshwara.
it the letter. You are translating it incorrectly, sir.
I
You are
have also
translating
got
it
the letter of
incorrectly.
Dr. Parameshwara. He has clearly stated, I have go by the Home Minister's
I am
statement.
glad you have the letter. Please translate it correctly. Do not misconstrue the letter and create issues.
Translate. Why should I? That need is it is for you to misconstrue it, not me.
Sir, it is not like Mr. Bommai who promised to drop all criminal charges against Sharan Pampwell in Mangalore. Congress party or the government does not do that, sir.
If any individual is charged with the UAPA, anyone indulging in violence, anyone indulging in attack on police stations, such people should not be shown any
Then why did the police? Why did the police under Mr.
We have
Bommai?
never released a single person who is having such cases, political cases.
I think you are unaware.
Even you have released.
You are unaware, Mr. Prakash.
Cases. Nobody has objected.
Mr. Prakash, you are unaware that the police under Mr. Bommai has released a lot of people they had arrested during KJLD, DJLD riots. They had released. Why did they release them? Why did they release
political agitation and terror activity?
Why did they release the people who were arrested under the charges saying they participated in DJLD, KJLD riots, were later date released by the BJP
this all comes
government?
down to, is this the politics of convenience? Are these cases dropped or are these requests made by specific parties that are in power? That's the question I began this debate with, and I want to get in Abdul Razak Khan as well. Abdul Razak Khan, not just this particular case, but let's talk about cases like these. There are several cases in this particular case that have been, the charges of UAPA have been invoked. Karnataka High Court has come down very heavily in some of those cases. Bail has been denied to several of those accused, going on to say that, in fact, the Karnataka High Court said that lawyers can't chant this mantra that bail is a rule in every single case. That can't be the argument that is made in cases, especially where national security is at stake. When such cases are involved, should we then perhaps, not just elected representatives in case of the MLA, but even in the state government, perhaps look at the larger picture and accordingly make public comments at least?
Definitely yes, Poonam, I certainly agree with you, but there are certain people who are not involved in the cases, and we are talking about this. But before I answer your question, let me present this in front of you. I don't know with what moral right the entire BJP is today objecting this letter when on
We don't
19th of
take
September
any moral
2022,
lesson from
the
you,
BJP
Mr.
government
Razak.
took a
Mr. S.
cabinet
Prakash, you had your time. You
Sir,
was
I did
patiently
not speak
waiting.
in between when
He
you were
cannot
talking.
Mr. Khan was
that
patiently
we
waiting.
are
S. Prakash, let him have his word.
Sir,
I will let you
talk
counter
when you
him.
were talking. Please have
Mr.
some
Prakash,
patience
Mr. Prakash,
and
I'll allow you
discipline.
to counter him. Mr.
Poonam,
Khan, go ahead.
Poonam, a cabinet decision was taken on 19 September 2022 to withdraw 34 cases involving around 400 accused activists of many Hindu right-wing organizations like ABVP, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Bajrang Dal, Shri Ram Sene, and 21 cases related to communal violence, communal hatred, hate speech and cow protection. So all these people at the behest of Pratap Simha's request, you know the Mysuru MP Pratap Simha's request, 206 members of these Hindu groups were released by the BJP government in the state. Not only that, today they are saying that the MLA's house was attacked and 109 people were booked under UAPA. But on 30th July 2022, the Home Minister of Karnataka's house was ransacked by ABVP members, somewhere around 40 to 60. No case was booked. Why? Because they were ABVP members. Secretly, people were getting trained on weapon, they were using air guns and they were getting trained. I am saying, didn't you have faith on your own police? Why did you need weapon training? But nobody was booked under UAPA for weapon training. The BJP with an agenda wanted this communal riot to happen. Actually, this started on 9th August 2020. You know, the objectionable post was posted on Facebook and the person involved was the nephew of the MLA. The state police disastrously failed. They had to take some kind of action. The intelligence failed. They could not protect the MLA's house nor the police station. People went there to give a police complaint at 2:30 and they were waiting till 8 p.m. Nothing was done. Why? Because the BJP government was there with an intention. They made the crowd to swell and they wanted a riot to happen. They did not bring in
Did the police misjudge? Did the police misjudge the situation back then and post that perhaps as well as Prakash? Because overnight 100 arrests were made in that particular case. Very few are now in jail.
There was
No, what happened on that has already been discussed,
pressure on the police
explained,
to keep
and the
quiet.
cases
Sure.
have been
There
failed.
was
Many are
deliberate
Sure, Mr. Khan, you made your point. Let
The
Mr. S. Prakash
Congress
respond as well.
former mayor,
Happened.
no, former
Yes.
mayor himself is accused of setting fire to the Congress MLA, then Congress MLA, who is from a Dalit community. Congress party did not stand for him. They protected Sampath Raj, who was an accused in the case and behind the bar for 3 months. Some of the corporators were involved. The violence was premeditated and whatever the motive may be, it should not have happened and the action has been taken
What was your
impartially.
intelligence doing? The Home Minister should have then and there resigned.
Innocent is arrested
Why did not
and
the Home
case
Minister
is
resign?
filed, the court is there to take the call on it. It is not the duty of the government now.
Sir, when the Home Minister
when the
could
case
not
is
protect an
in
MLA's
NIA,
house, he
how
should have
can the
resigned
state
moral.
government take the call and withdraw the cases? That is not possible. The cases are filed is not a simple case.
So why are you enraged?
Serious offence and terror for terror related.
So why are you
activities,
enraged,
such cases
sir?
are imposed, and this Rajak always supports such element. He takes a blind eye. For the very last week, 5 people were arrested on terror charges. They were plotting terror in Bangalore city, terror activity. And our great Home
Sir,
Minister
Praveen
said, "Don't call
Netaru's
them
murder,
terrorists."
Hindu
What
Harsha's
do we
murder
call
was
terrorists
submitted to
and,
NIA probe. Why
we
not
should be
Masood and
enlightened by the
Fazil?
Congress
Because
party.
Bajrang Dal
This is
members
the
were
stand,
involved.
and this is
Accept
the
it
way
today
they
because
are
Bajrang
showing
Dal members were involved.
towards
You did not
security,
give Masood
the
and Fazil's
safety of the
murder
people of
case
Karnataka.
to the NIA. Does not that attract UAPA?
Go to Mr.
Masood and
Razak, why do
Fazil's
you
murder,
show
why
here?
was it
Go
not
to the
given to
court
NIA?
and challenge the
Why was
NIA?
Masood
Why
and
do you do
Fazil's murder not given to NIA when Praveen Netaru's murder, Hindu Harsha's murder was given to NIA? Because Bajrang Dal were involved. 8 people were Bajrang
All
Dal were
those
booked in
whoever
Masood's
has
murder.
committed a crime
You
must
people
be
did not
arrested.
even give any grant to
Whichever
them,
the
not even
community they
visited their
belong
house.
to.
Your
Crime is
party
a
was
crime.
with an agenda.
We cannot
People
attach
of
any
Karnataka
religion
have
to it.
rejected your party. People of
Sure,
Karnataka
let's not
have
attach
rejected
religion
your
to it. But
party.
as far as
Just
withdrawing
because of
cases
Muslims.
go, Mr. S. Prakash, I want to ask you this. As far an RTI that was filed, as per an RTI response that came to the fore, there were 385 cases that were issued between February 2020 and February 2023 that there were 7 orders in that particular 3-year period during the BJP government where 385 cases were withdrawn. The RTI also showed that majority of communal incidences which the case was withdrawn in benefited elected representatives of the BJP, be it an MP or an MLA. How do you respond to that then?
Political cases have been withdrawn.
But they are cases of stoking. Communal disharmony.
When Siddaramaiah was Chief Minister, he even withdrew the cases of PFI. Hundreds of cases, thousands of cases have been withdrawn. Cases against the farmers have been withdrawn. Cases against the Kannada activists have been withdrawn. Political cases have been withdrawn. No case who have imposed on riots, burning a police station, murdering a people have been withdrawn.
The gravity of the situation will decide the punishment, sir. It can't decide whether you decide to withdraw the case or not. If a certain charge has been invoked, and S. Prakash, that is my question. If a certain charge has been invoked of promoting enmity between two communities, as in this particular case, several of those instances were there against BJP MLAs and MPs as well. Which of cases have been withdrawn is what the RTI reveals.
No, anyone was involved in a murder or a killing of other people from other community. No, it is a political cases. Political cases, even Siddaramaiah has withdrawn.
Sure.
Not only the BJP. And this particular case...
If I may respond, please.
Sure. Lavanya Ballal, 30 seconds. Mr. Srinivasan has been patiently waiting on this, but Lavanya Ballal, 30 seconds.
Yes. I would like to remind the BJP spokesperson that it was the utter failure of the then Home Minister to curtail the problem that happened in DJ Halli and KJ Halli.
Sure.
And after that, they have continuously released, the police had to release many people who were jailed as under trails, or they were in custody as under trails, because there was no proof of those people even being in Bangalore on the day of the incident. So yes, if somebody is asking for verification of the incident, I think as government, it is our duty to ensure that we verify the facts.
Sure, I want to get in Aditya Srinivasan as well. He's been patiently waiting on this debate. And Aditya Srinivasan, I want to ask you, irrespective of which party it is, I want to ask the same question I asked at the beginning of this debate. Is this about convenience? Is this about political inconvenience of whichever party is in power? And does this set a wrong precedent?
Yeah, I think it is about convenience. I think each time a political party is in office, they start coming under pressure from their rank and file and their bases to see what accommodations they can extend to people who have come under some form of, whether it's criminal charges or whether they've been roped into an investigation or whatever it is. I think it's a frequent occurrence. It happens in the states. It happens, to the extent that you have agencies of the center, perhaps those get involved as well. So it's not unusual. It's unfortunate.
And would this set a wrong precedent? Quick rebuttal on that, Srinivasan. Would that end up being then used as a precedent in many other cases where perhaps it would be derailing of justice?
Yeah, just take this debate itself, right? The substance of this debate today has been, the spokespersons of the two political parties basically saying that, but you did this as well, and then you did this as well. So, I mean, this is, yeah, you're quite right. It does set a wrong precedent.
Right, it does set a wrong precedent, and that's what all political parties must look at, because it is about the larger picture, especially about cases of UAP, especially about cases of national security. Political brownie points is something that should not be scored. I leave it at that. I thank you all for joining us here on this broadcast on that big debate. We are slipping into a quick break here on this edition of The Right Stand, but on the other side, we're going to get you an exclusive conversation of the counsel of the 1984 riot victims. Are they any closer to justice now? That's what we'll find out.
Brought to you by
Against these individuals have to go through these two procedures. Once if they are not at fault, then only the cases will be withdrawn. So that's the word coming in from the Home Minister Parameshwara. But the BJP has already acted ante against the Home Minister and the government. They also pointed out the fact that Siddaramaiah government obviously withdraw cases against the PFI. So once again, they are doing the same here as well. And they're working on the behest of certain organizations. And all these organizations, they also alleged that all these organizations have returned to the Chief Minister to withdraw cases against individuals from their organizations. So Siddaramaiah is listening to all of these organizations and the individuals from these organizations. So that's the reason why such move is being initiated by the government. So that's what the BJP had to say regarding this issue.
So Akshara, just help me understand this clarification that's coming in from the Karnataka Home Minister. He in fact is saying, okay, Akshara, we'll just request you to stay on with us. We want to take in a reaction from the BJP as well. Mr. S. Prakash now joining us. Good to have you with us here on CNN News 18. There is now a clarification, sir, that's coming in as far as the Karnataka Home Minister is concerned. One, he's saying there is no complaint that has been filed. We're not dropping any cases as far as the right accused is concerned. Why is the BJP making a mole out of a mountain?
The letter he has sent to the police officer explains itself. He has categorically stated, review the cases and and act accordingly. What does it mean? He is a home minister and he should have been more careful about it. How can we let these troubleshooters who indulge in burning police station and it almost indulging in a terror activities be let off just because the ruling party MLA writes a letter claiming most of them are innocent and they have no role to play in it? Has the court declared them innocent? The case is pending in the court. Let the court decide. Who is Mr. Parameshwara to decide about the merit of the case?
But he's gone on to clarify that we're not dropping the cases as far as the right accused is concerned. There are certain false cases that the state government feels were formed. They're saying we need to look into it. The other point that the state government is making, that you would also know, this was a case that was transferred to the NIA. So there's little ambit as far as the scope of what the state government can do or cannot do.
First of all, it is a well-known fact. Most of the cases of the KGL and DGL riot case has been transferred to NIA, over which the state government has no powers at all. Mr. Tanveer said only for the eyewash and to mislead the community people has written a letter, and Parameshwara blindly has replied him. Now he has to clarify it. This government is protecting all such elements. What is happening in Udupi is also a similar case. And even in the hijab case, the minister is on record when the case is before the Supreme Court, he says we will permit hijab in the colleges. So they have no respect for the law, they have no respect for the judiciary, they are only respect for their vote bank politics.
Mr. Prakash, I just want to understand another aspect. The Congress is also saying this won't really be the first time that state governments have taken decision in certain cases of withdrawing them or dropping them. Your government also did it. So why is only their government being targeted? And secondly, when the BJP makes a charge of appeasement politics, what are you asking from the state government as of now? Because they're quoting legal procedure.
The case of KJL, DJL is almost a terror activity. Why did the NIA took over the case? They even they burnt the police station. Hundreds of vehicles were touched for no reason at all. It was a huge riot they ensured within a matter of 2-3 hours. 4 to 5 people lost their life in the police firing. Such was the intensity of the riot they engineered. And such elements who are responsible for such act, should they go scot-free? Let us not politicize it. If any other community does it also, they should also face the law and they should also be punished. There should not be any compromise on it.
Okay, Mr. S. Prakash, we'll have to leave that conversation there. Thanks a lot for speaking to us here at CNN News 18. Our colleague Akshara continues to be with us. Akshara, so help us understand what is the kind of sequence of events that have taken place as far as the Congress is concerned. I do know they're saying this is legal procedure, but the BJP is saying this is just appeasement politics. They've done this in the past with many affiliated with the PFI and they're just repeating it once again.
Well, you see, this all started with Congress MLA Tanveer writing a letter to Home Minister G. Parameshwara requesting that in the riots pertaining to the DJ Halli, KG Halli, and not just that, in Hubballi and Shivamogga as well, many false cases have been booked against individuals. So these cases should be relooked. That's what the Congress MLA Tanveer has written to Home Minister G. Parameshwara. And following this letter, G. Parameshwara wrote another letter to the Home Secretary stating that yes, there are certain false cases filed against certain individuals in such rare cases, so that has to be relooked. So once this letter came to the fore, came to the public light, so the BJP slammed the Congress government for appeasement politics, and as we witness right now, former Chief Minister also slammed Home Minister G. Parameshwara, as well as Chief Minister Shivamogga of once again indulging in the appeasement politics. So that's what the BJP had to say. But once again, we have the Congress party as well, Home Minister and the Chief Minister himself stating that there have been certain false cases that have been booked. So we are looking into that case. And remember, in one of its cabinet meetings which took place in a couple of weeks ago, in the previous month, the Congress government made it very clear and also said that
Welcome back. Close to 4 decades later, law seems to be catching up with Congress leader Jagdish Titler in the 1984 riots case. Delhi court, after taking cognizance of a CBI charge sheet in the case, has now summoned Jagdish Titler on the 5th of August in connection with the Pulbanga killings during the 1984 riots. In a charge sheet filed before the court, the CBI has accused Jagdish Titler of inciting, instigating and provoking the mob that had assembled at Pulbanga Gurdwara on the 1st of November 1984. 3 lives, remember, were lost in that particular case. So let's first tell you what this case was about and how it continues to haunt the Congress and Jagdish Titler 39 years later. Titler was accused of leading a mob in this particular area in 1984. 3 Sikhs were killed a day after Indira Gandhi's assassination. In 2005, the Nanavati Commission ordered the case to be reopened by the CBI. In 2015, after the court order, case reopened the case. Arms dealer Abhishek Verma, a witness in the case, had accused Titler of influencing witnesses. In 2017, CBI sought court's nod for a lie detector test on Jagdish Titler. Lie detector test permission sought on arms dealer Verma as well. Congress leader Jagdish Titler refused to undergo that test though. Through the course of multiple investigating agencies and multiple investigations, there are several charges that the witnesses have levelled against Jagdish Titler. Surinder Singh, one of the witnesses, has said that mob attack at Gurudwara was led by Jagdish Titler, that he incited the mob to burn the Gurudwara and to kill Sikhs in retribution. Surjit Kaur, another victim, another witness, said that he put pressure on the local cops to stand down because it was the Congress government that was in power. Govind Narain then said that evidence that Jagdish Titler investigated the mob is very much present. The mob attacked Sikh houses and set them on fire. That was another testimony that came to the fore. So is there no accountability as far as the Congress is concerned and as far as the 1984 riots are concerned? Let's take a look at some of the comments that have been made by Congress leaders in the past. In 2019, Sam Pitroda, a close aide of the Gandhis and a foreign advisor when Rahul Gandhi travels abroad, in 2019 had said that he had justified, in fact, the Sikh riots. He said, "Jo hua so hua." Rahul Gandhi in 2018 said that I don't agree that Congress was involved at all. In 2014, Rahul Gandhi again had said that the Congress government wasn't aiding and abetting but instead was trying to stop the riots back then. Amrinder Singh, former Chief Minister of Punjab, then in the Congress in 2018 had said that you cannot blame Congress for actions of certain individuals. It's not as a party, it's as certain individuals. In 2015, the General Secretary of the Congress Party, Digvijay Singh, said that everyone is silent about RSS's role in 1984 riots, but the only talk is of the Congress Party. And back in 1984, Rajiv Gandhi, the former Prime Minister of the country, had said, when a mighty tree falls, it's only natural that earth around it shakes. Those were the kind of comments that came to the fore from the Congress Party. In the recent past, they've either completely distanced themselves from Jagdish Titler or have skirted around the issue, not completely backing him either. But where does that leave the fight for hundreds of those families, for the victims of the 1984 riots? I spoke to the man who is the counsel for these victims who's been fighting their legal battle. Listen in to what H.S. Phoolka told me earlier. For 39 years, hundreds of families are awaiting justice. They're awaiting justice in the anti-Sikh riots of 1984. And the man who's fighting their fight legally, joining us, speaking with us, H.S. Phoolka, the counsel for the victims, joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Phoolka, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Let me begin by asking you, how significant do you think is today's development of Jagdish Titler being summoned? Do you think this is just procedural, or is this going to have a big impact because the court is yet to look into the merits of the evidence in itself?
The main thing is the filing of the charge sheet. When the charge sheet is filed under the section 302 and the other major offences, then the court examine that if the material is sufficient, where and the trial should be started against the accused. So now that is also a necessary process under the law, and the court at that stage can even refuse to take cognizance and direct the further investigation also. Now in this case, this is very important and material because of the reason that earlier you see 3 times the closure report was filed by the CBI. And all 3 times it is at this stage only that we had asked the court not to accept it and to send it back for further investigation because proper investigation was not conducted.
Yes.
No, this time, so we convinced the court that now on the basis of the statement of the witnesses, sufficient evidence is there to start a murder trial against titler. So the court had taken cognizance and directed that the murder trial should be started against the titler.
Yes, which is why right after the verdict came out, we saw many victims who were right outside the court. They welcomed it. They said this was the first step in the right direction. But Mr. Phoolka, like you were pointing out that, this is 39 years too late perhaps. The second, that there have been closure reports or clean chits that many would call it, that have been given in the past to Jagdish Titler. Then would you say that this kind of celebration or this kind of hailing of this verdict by some of the victims' families would be a little premature?
The first step is starting the trial. I mean, it had taken 39 years even to start the trial against him. He has been so using his political power and money power to stall the process of law. So this is a very, very important step, what has happened today. It is not at all premature to celebrate because this is one of the major steps and the first major step which towards securing the punishment for him. So this is a cause to celebrate it.
But it's taken 39 years for that first step to be taken, for the first cognizance of Titler's role per se to be actually taken in a court of law. Do you now think there is hope for an expedited justice that perhaps in the next 5 to 10 years at least or at the earliest we can see this legal hurdle reaching its logical conclusion?
The victims have been fighting for this since last 39 years. And this is a particular person who has been threatening the witnesses, who have been pressurizing the witnesses all the time. I mean, even he threatened me also, and in the open debate, and that case regarding that is pending in Patala House Court. Now, a person who can go to the extent of threatening the lawyer, and he has been threatening the victims and the witnesses. So, of course, the victims who have been fought for 39 years. And this is a major step forward, and the victims are today at least happy and glad, and we all are, that at least the process have now started, the trial has started against him, and we are sure that this trial will be completed in the fast track mode, and he will be behind the bars in the jail very soon.
Right, but Mr. Phoolka, let me ask you a question of a political nature, so to say. Now, the Congress has always denied Jagdish Titler's role. They've many a time cited the CBI clean chit of the closure reports that have been given to him, either to distance themselves from the entire case or to dismiss his role altogether. Do you think that now that there is first sign of cognizance being taken of his role, at least the court saying that there is enough material on record to even proceed in the case, do you think the Congress would perhaps now rethink their association with Jagdish Titler, or do you think it's going to be water off a duck's back?
The Congress, in fact, has rewarded Jagdish Titler after the killing of the Sikhs. I mean, when he actually, this whole genocide was organized by the Congress party, and these leaders were acting under the instructions of the party. So they were all rewarded. He, Kamal Nath, and all others were rewarded after the genocide. Now the Congress obviously will deny their role. When deny their role on the different using the different excuses. Of course, the Congress party is itself responsible. Now, in any case, when the murder trial have started, they can, of course, not deny his role and not deny their own role as well, because he was the leader of the Congress. He was a member of Parliament of Congress at that time.
Yes, so the Congress may not be able to easily distance themselves at this particular moment or even after he appears before court on the 5th of August. One last question, Mr. Phoolka, before I let you go. Like you've also been pointing out, he does have reach in the power corridors. He's still a powerful man. Intimidation of witnesses, intimidation for you as well is something that he has resorted to. Are we going to be seeing the victim side perhaps pad their legal strategy, pad their legal team along with you as this case progresses?
No doubt, Title has got a lot of money. Lot of money. He can spend that money by bring the whole lot of the team of the senior advocates, but from our side also we are all prepared. We are fully prepared to face his team of lawyers because we are on the right side.
Mr. Phoolka, thank you so much for speaking with us. You're on CNN News 18 and good luck to you as the case comes up. And we hope that the victims of the genocide, the victims of the anti-Sikh riots do get justice sooner than later. On that note, thank you so much for speaking with us here.
Brought to you by
forming the subcommittee that will look into the cases. So this is not a sudden decision. A decision was earlier taken in one of its cabinet meeting, and after this cabinet meeting decision, a subcommittee will be formed, and this will look into the cases.
Okay, Akshara, we'll unfortunately have to leave that conversation there. Thanks a lot for getting us all those details. Some other reactions also now coming in.
ಅದು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಡಿಜೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಂತ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆರೋಪಿಗಳ ಕೇಸ್ ವಾಪಸ್ ಪಡೆಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಈ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ
ಅದು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Reaction that was coming in from the Karnataka Chief Minister. As we pointed out, there is a political war of words that has now erupted in the state of Karnataka as far as the DJ Halli case is concerned, where the BJP has trained its guns at the Siddaramaiah government, saying that you're indulging in appeasement politics. What has the Karnataka government done as of now? Because the BJP is saying they set the wheels in motion. If this case is dropped or withdrawn, then this is just appeasement politics. What is the Karnataka Home Minister saying?
Well, we just now spoke to the Karnataka Home Minister. He refuted the accusations by the BJP with the claim that it's just appeasement politics by the Congress, which Congress keeps doing it. So he completely refuted it and stated that there are certain procedures which this particular withdrawal of the cases has to go through. First, we'll pass it to the subcommittee, and subcommittee will take a look at these cases, and then it will be passed on to the main committee. And after that, it passes through these two phases, then if they are not found at fault, then only the cases against which Riots will be withdrawn. Apart from that, there is no any such comment given out by the Home Minister whether there will be withdrawing all the cases or not. They just said that these two phases, this is the procedure, and
Manipur has become the area of checkpost, a state of checkpost, where you can see this type of tubes and all these things are there on the road. This is the road to Nongpok, the area which is the village of the main accused who were there in the horrific video. That person has been expelled, but this is the situation, and the roads are blocked. In one way the roads are blocked, in other way they say these are all the checkposts. Not only checkposts, bunkers are also made there. Entire road, if you see, the tubes which were for development, which were supposed to be used for the development work, is now used as checkpost in one hand. In other hand, to stop people, to stop unwanted people to come to this place. So this is the situation. You can see in all through the road, this type of tubes are there, which forms as a check post, and the people who guard the village, they use this. In war, we have seen bunker, and all the border areas bunkers are there. Right now behind me is a bunker which has been made by the people who guard the village. This is Nongpuk area, and here we see this is the Methi sides of bunker, where to protect the village they have made such bunkers. From here they actually, in one way, today it's early in the morning, so there's no one in the bunker, but what we come to know from our sources, that these are the bunkers through which they keep an eye. And when there is a fight, these bunkers, they stay in these bunkers and fight it out. So this is absolutely a war situation. You can see a bunker which has been made by the civilians, not the police, not the army, but civilian made bunker, because it's really a warlike situation. On the way to Nungpuk Sekmai, which is the border area between the Metis and the Kukis, this is the second such, tube obstruction checkpost that is there. One we have faced earlier, one which is here, and you can see this is another bunker. So if you go to one place to another, like if you go in between the Kuki and the Methi border zones, these are the border zones, and this type of bunkers which are not made by the army or the police, made by the local villages, are there, from where the village protection takes place, and the fight also from this place, where they can stay and they can keep an eye and also fight from this region. From Imphal to Nungpui Sikmoi area, the road, this is the third bunker which we have seen. You can see this is again another bunker where they say they protect their own villagers from outside invasion. Right now it is morning, nobody is there, but it's generally the village protectors, they are there at the night, and you can see that this is the way again the tubes are used, and this is actually they stop people where they want, if they think that the person is an outsider. And this is how the bunkers in the civilian area, not made by the police or by the forces, this type of bunkers are there everywhere in Manipur. This type of checkposts are there everywhere in Manipur. Too, they are saying, both the sides, to protect themselves. They are the protectors of their village, and that's why such type of bunkers are very much required. Here we have shown, valley to Churachandrapur, there were 13 checkposts. We have shown in Thorbal to Imphal, Thorbal to Nungpuk area, there were 6 to 7 checkposts. Right now we are in Sugnu. There also, this is also a border area between Kuki and Metis, and here also you can see this is a bunker, and this is here it is clearly written that the outsiders, they are not allowed after 6 p.m. because this is the area where also night guard is required. And behind me you can see, let us go there, and I will ask my VJ to follow me. And this is the situation where in every nook and corner, whichever border inside a border, Manipur has several borders between the two communities. You see, in a battlefield there are different type of borders. In a battlefield, their bunker is required. Now see, this is another bunker from where they keep an eye on their enemies, as what they say. So in both the sides, this type of bunkers are there, and as I go inside, you can see this is the place where they keep an eye on the hills, and there are also bunkers, might be that side, from where they keep an eye on this region. So this is the state of affair. This is a battlefield in Manipur where there are everywhere bunkers.
Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. It's been 5 straight days of no debates in Parliament. Today, a no-confidence motion was moved by the opposition alliance in the Lok Sabha. The numbers are clearly on the government's side. It's 330 to the NDA and about 140 to the India alliance. So it's not like this government's survival is under threat, or that Mr. Modi's government doesn't have the numbers, it's going to be put on the mat, its very existence is threatened, or anything of that sort. The only point of this no-confidence exercise, and this is the BJP's allegation against the opposition benches, is to get the Prime Minister to speak in the House on the Manipur issue, something which he has not done since this crisis began. So has this entire exercise in the last 5 days, and the tactics and the strategy by the opposition, been more about getting one man to speak more about optics than the actual substance of either what is happening in Manipur or what can be done to assuage the situation. But first,